cool. Oh, cool. What's up, gamers? This is Jim from Just Push Play, Ottawa's video game web show, and I have a few things that I'd like to cover today in today's podcast. So just sit on tight and we'll go over them and we'll have a blast. All right, so the first thing I want to cover today is I just found this out maybe an hour or two ago. Like, that's how recent this is. And I didn't see it publicized anywhere at all. I just couldn't believe that no one had mentioned this, no one either on Facebook or anywhere else. So, it's really important that this gets put out there because, actually I would like to attend because it would be so cool to see, right? So, um, it's actually the Canadian Video Game Awards, so CVAs, and they're going to be heading actually to Toronto next year. The last 4 years, it's been inside Vancouver, and the original plan was to have it go around and actually have it travel around Canada. However, this is the first time that it's actually going to be, out east here, in Toronto, which is so cool to have, and I'm really excited about this, and I can't wait. So that's gonna be April 2014. Hopefully, eventually, hey, it'd be awesome if it was actually in Ottawa. Wouldn't that be great? That would be just so cool. Um, so Future Shop's actually officially sponsoring it. So that's why you see Future Shop Canadian Video Game Awards. So that's kind of neat that they have sponsorship because that means that it's gonna have money to continue in the future. And I would love to go for sure. Would you guys be interested in going as well? Like, Just Push Play would be excited to meet gamers there and interview gamers there for sure. So yeah, and it says here that Future Shop's going to extend the sponsorship. It's the third year apparently as the title sponsor. See, I didn't know any of this, and I'm sure a lot of people didn't. Uh, Thrilled with the show growing. Um, and apparently, the popular co-host is the executive producer of the Electric Playground Reviews on the Run, which is Victor Lucas. So he's a strong advocate, apparently, of in Canada made video games, and hopefully he's thinking that it will allow more gaming fans to recognize their own homegrown talent here in Canada. Um, so the video industry, apparently, according to this, we employ over 16,000 people here in Canada in the video game industry, which makes Canada actually the third largest developer in the world. It sounds like a small number, but that's actually pretty neat. Um, that and It just goes on to say Canada's major gaming hubs include Vancouver, Toronto, Montreal. Well, hopefully, eventually Ottawa will be one of the big major gaming hubs. That would be so cool. So apparently it's actually just announced yesterday, so that's super new, and it hasn't made it. I don't think I saw it on Joystick. I just happened to randomly I either went on Future Shop's website or I just happened to find it somewhere else, but it definitely was not. I think it was off Future Shop's Facebook page, so that's probably why it hasn't really gone around at all, and not a lot of people seem to know about it. But that's a shame. Um, so there aren't any details about 2015 or beyond, unfortunately. But that'd be awesome if Ottawa's the next stop in 2015, eh? So, um, so last year's CVAs include big name titles: Far Cry 3, Assassin's Creed 3, Mass Effect 3, Sleeping Dogs, FIFA Soccer 13, and Batman Arkham City Armored Edition. The Game of the Year award apparently went to Far Cry 3, which was developed by Ubisoft Montreal and with support from other Ubisoft studios. But that's kind of nice, Canadians should be proud of our fellow Canadians. And actually, that's the one game I haven't bought, unfortunately, Far Cry 3, but I'm definitely interested in trying it. I'm not sure if my computer could actually handle it, but that'd be pretty sweet. Um, so yeah, actually, apparently the last 4 years they have been broadcast the CPAs by Rogers on City TV and G4, and expected it's going to be broadcast across Canada next year. So in April, I think that's just make sure that's the right month. Yeah, I think it said April somewhere. I don't see it here, but that's pretty sweet. So let's go on to the next topic for today, and let's game on. And what is definitely bad news for Nintendo? Nintendo's been struggling to try and get the 3DS going, with games and earning a profit. Obviously their business, and actually now apparently the Gateway, a company named Gateway claims that it has its own device that can play pirated Nintendo 3DS games, which is not cool, because companies do need money, even if they do make some boneheaded decisions, like again referring to the previous EVO 2013 event with Nintendo trying to initially completely block Super Smash Bros. Melee from being covered, first streamed and then later covered by the event. So um, they've released Gateway has released a video of the Gateway 3DS product, and apparently enables gamers to play backup ROMs on the 3DS units. So if this flashcard works, it will open Nintendo's 3DS handheld to piracy, which is not good for Nintendo and it's not good for the industry. Um, so the post on Gateway's website, it says, quote, "The wait is over. The first ever backup device that enables playback of 3DS ROMs is now a reality. The device is in its final stages of design and production and is just around the corner. Stay tuned and enjoy the show," end quote. The show refers to a video that's someone shows someone starting up various 3DS games using the Gateway 3DS and different SD cards, which is not good. Speculation is that the video is fake. The companies have reached out to Gateway. This article is on VentureBeat.com. It's actually from about 2 weeks ago, which is kind of weird that I haven't seen an update. So this news site has actually tried to reach Gateway and Nintendo, but neither company has actually returned their request at this time. So a flashcard, in case you don't know, sorry, I assume that everyone does. Flashcard is a small cartridge that fits into the game slot of a game console, usually a portable system. Lately, in the last few generations, it's not been like Super Nintendo, and there were devices, game copying devices for those systems, but that's another story. And they trick the system in thinking it's a legitimate product that is in the system and then boots data from a micro SD card. Devices like the R4 are very popular for the DS among pirates. Yeah, I actually did date someone that had one at one point. Didn't really know that she had one, but they are pretty much illegal unless you're actually um, using it for like homebrew, and unfortunately, sadly, not a lot of people use it for homebrew. They use it more for to have as many games as possible. But yeah, I don't. That was the only person I've ever met that's had one of these, and I don't really approve of them myself because it hurts the video game industry. And I feel if you really like a game, you should really buy it and not, hurt these companies, especially Nintendo. If you want to see Nintendo around in 10 years, you should really buy their stuff. Enough said. Um, so if this Gateway 3DS does actually work and Nintendo can't block it, it could mean bad news for Nintendo for sure. And it's not cool, because people should be buying the games, the original games, and not like duplicates or copies. On to the next, which is a related topic. So fortunately, Nintendo and Japanese game makers, there was this news post from a few days ago, I think on the 9th. So that was what, 5-6 days ago, almost a week. And it looks like Nintendo and Japanese game makers have managed to win a victory against the R4 devices. Now, R4 devices are, devices again related to what I was just talking about, allow you to play copy games. I think yeah, it says R4 Revolution for DS, so it's so you can play DS games on your DS, illegal games on your DS, and that's not cool. And I just covered that, so I'm not going to repeat what I just said. But apparently, there's a ban on R4 devices, and a Tokyo court ruled that the accused two Tokyo-based R4 sellers must pay a sum total of nearly $1 million So that's $921,000 in damages to Nintendo and 50 other companies that joined in the suit. So those companies include the likes of Konami, Capcom, Square Enix, Level 5, Bandai Namco, and more. So pretty much most of the entire Japanese game industry. The Japanese government announced that importing R4 devices was illegal, and at the time, selling them was already punishable by law. So it's good that Nintendo's still able to crack down and win in court, but the problem is once you shut down one or a few sellers, there's always going to be a few more that prop up. So there isn't really other than shutting down these sellers one by one, there isn't really a way to completely shut out the fact that people are going to keep doing this. And it's unfortunate because again, these companies need our money, and this is how we support them, and this is how they continue to make the games that we all love and can continue to play. So yeah, I think the ultimate message for today's webcast is, support the game developers. If they do something you don't agree with, definitely let them know. But if they, you have to buy the games if you try and even used game sales don't help. Like I don't know why, but some people never seem to realize, unfortunately, that used game sales are great for the consumer, but not necessarily for the game publisher because they don't really get money from these games being resold again and again and again and again. And there's been proposals to actually have a tariff or something on used game sales. I haven't heard of it actually having gone through. Usually people protest it, or it's not gone through as far as I know, as far as I've read. So what do you guys think of this? Do you think people should be allowed to have like the choice? Like normally I'm for freedom of choice, but are people still allowed to like? Should they be allowed to copy these games? Should there be some sort of restriction put in place? Because it also has, legitimate uses like homebrew games, like to be able to do your own thing with the system, and play games that other people have made that are, freeware games, and so there are, legitimate excuses, legitimate uses rather for these products. So what do you guys think? Let me know. And you can, as always, you can sign up to our YouTube or Twitter accounts and let your friends know because, Ottawa needs more gaming support, and it would be awesome to have our own gaming industry, right here in Ottawa. And that's always a good thing to see more games being made and more creativity and support it. So I'm Jim from Just Push Play. Keep on gaming, guys, and stay awesome. Until next time, take care.